During the next few minutes, you're not only going to attempt to solve a classic logic puzzle, you're also going to participate in a psychological experiment. This one's called the Wason selection task, named after its deviser, cognitive psychologist Peter C. Wason, whose professional career helped make breakthroughs in understanding why we humans, who are normally very intelligent creatures, repeatedly make basic errors in logical thinking. Wason first used this puzzle in 1966 to study how people evaluate and seek truth. Don't feel too bad if you don't get this right. His studies proved almost no one does. You're shown 4 cards. Each card has a letter on one side and a number on the opposite side. Which card or cards must you flip over to verify if the following statement is true? If a card has a vowel on one side, then it has an even number on the other side. Don't flip more cards than necessary. Pause the video here to think about it. Keep the answer in the back of your mind, or better yet, write it down to be safe, because before I reveal the answer, I want you to try a very similar puzzle first. Each of these 4 cards represents a person who is drinking some kind of beverage at a restaurant. The person's age is shown on one side, and what they're drinking is shown on the other. Which card or cards must you flip over to verify if the following statement is true? If someone is drinking alcohol, they must be at least 21. Again, don't flip more cards than needed. Pause it here, write down your answer, and continue when ready. Okay, let's look at the answer for the original puzzle. We need to flip over only the cards needed to verify the statement. If a card has a vowel on one side, then it has an even number on the other side. To do that, we need to flip over the card with the vowel to make sure it has an even number on the other side. And we need to flip over the card with the odd number to make sure it has a consonant on the other side. The other 2 cards can be left alone, and I'll explain why. The statement we're aiming to test is a conditional statement. In other words, a statement with the formula if P, then Q. Such statements are made up of 2 parts. The first is the condition, which is the if P part, and the second is the consequence, which is the then Q part. The condition can be either true or false, and independently, the consequence can be either true or false as well. In this case, they'd both be true if a card has a vowel and an even number, and they'd both be false if a card has a consonant and an odd number. Of course, it's possible for one to be true and the other false as well. For example, if a card has a vowel on one side and an odd number on the other, or if a card has a consonant on one side and an even number on the other. With that in mind, these are the 4 possible types of cards that can exist. In order to accurately pick which cards we need to turn over to verify the truth of the conditional statement given to us, we first need to understand which of these types of cards can debunk or falsify it. Obviously, if we find any card that has a vowel on one side and an odd number on the other, the statement is debunked. So we need to make sure a card like that doesn't exist. Are there any other card types we need to be on the lookout for? Actually, no, there aren't. Obviously, cards of the first type affirm the statement, so they certainly don't debunk it. And the last 2 types, the ones without vowels, are irrelevant to the statement, since the statement makes no claims about what's on the other side of a card with a consonant. Therefore, these cannot possibly debunk it. If a card like the second type exists, then the statement is false. And if such a card doesn't exist, then the statement holds true. It's that simple. So the only thing we should care about is making sure there are no cards like that. It's possible the card showing a vowel could be of the second type. and if it is, the statement would be false. So we need to turn it over to find out. The card showing a consonant is either of the third or fourth type. Either way, it's irrelevant and can be ignored. The card showing an odd number might have a consonant on the other side, in which case it'd be irrelevant to the statement, but it might have a vowel, in which case it'd be of the second type and debunk the statement. So we need to turn it over to make sure which it is. And finally, the card showing an even number might have a consonant, in which case it'd be irrelevant and the statement is not debunked, or it'd have a vowel, in which case the statement is still not debunked. So no matter what's on the other side of it, the statement is not debunked and it continues to hold true. Wason's studies, and those of others who replicated his experiments, showed that a majority of those tested wanted to flip this card over even though it's unnecessary. Plus, only a very small minority chose to flip over the card showing an odd number, even though that one is necessary. This seems to indicate our brains are more inclined to seek information that validates claims rather than information that debunks them, even when doing so is contrary to the task we're trying to perform, and even when those being tested had been formally educated in logic. This inclination to seek only truth-affirming information and ignore the rest is a form of confirmation bias, coined by our puzzle designer Peter Wason, and it can cause otherwise intelligent and skeptical people to continue to hold on to inaccurate beliefs for the wrong reasons. Frankly, I hope you got this puzzle wrong, because one of the best lessons you can learn as a rational thinker is that no one is totally immune to biased thought, and convincing yourself you're incapable of committing bias is a dangerous step toward committing it. Now, even if you did get that puzzle wrong, there's still a good chance you got the other one right, with the people's ages and beverages. You need to turn over the card showing beer to make sure they're of drinking age, and you need to turn over the card showing 16 to make sure they're not drinking alcohol. Interestingly, studies show participants have a much easier time getting this one right, which suggests it's easier to comprehend logic when it's presented in a context that's likely to be useful in real life, like social interactions. Hope you enjoyed this fascinating classic puzzle as much as I do. Let me know what other classic puzzles you'd like for me to feature, and until next time, happy puzzling.